Hey friends, today I want to pot up my peppers with you together. So they have been growing for now, what is that? Pretty much 4 weeks, and you can see they are doing exceptionally well in those soil blocks, but it's definitely time to get them a little bit of a bigger home. Those are my sweet peppers. The ones in the small ones are my hot peppers. And let me just show you how great the root development is with those peppers here. So, do you see those roots over here? Those are amazing. That's the reason why I love soil blocking, because they develop such a robust root system in those blocks. They don't get root bound. So that's a really great way to get them off for a good way. And yeah, so we'll just pot them up. I'll use some potting soil. So I use typically for potting up that beautiful seedlings, usually 50-50 compost and pit moss. Just mingle that together, and then my 3.5-inch pots. And yeah, and then they get probably another 4 to 5 weeks in those pots, and they should be more than ready to go outside by then. Let's get started. That's my favorite compost, our local compost here from Coast of Mine, the lobster compost. So I mix this 50-50 with the pit moss. When I mean 50-50, it's like eyeballing 50-50, right? Then we'll mix that up. Just got my nails done, so I'm not mixing it up with bare hands. Usually I do, but that would have been a waste of money. All right, so now that the seedlings are already bigger, they're not so dependent on like really fine soil to make it through and to germinate, right? So for that reason, I don't sift any of my soils at that point anymore. So that's all they get. And last year that worked out very well. They were very happy with this mix. So doing it again this year, always stick with what works for you. And then I'll just start with my pots. Yeah, I usually fill them always up like halfway, or nah, not halfway, a third, and just prepare them. So typically what I use as well to just sprinkle a little bit on the growth and on the root development is some Mycorizer. Not much, just a little. That helps just with really great further root development, and as they're already so vigorous, that will touch the roots immediately and will get taken up by the plant really nicely. So that's one thing I use. You don't need much of it. So that big box, I think I have it now for the second or for the third season. So that really goes a long way for me. And then I start with my jalapenos. Jeez, yeah, look at those roots. I'll wiggle them carefully apart. Just look. Nice, isn't it? And then I'll sprinkle a little, put them in. You can see I put them also usually slightly deeper in. You can do that with peppers as well as with tomatoes, so just to ensure that they really have a sturdy base later. forget to label. Okay. I always make sure I do one at a time, like one variety at a time, so that I'm not messing around with labels. Been there, done that. Not a great practice. And then I'll take them back, and fill them up. And there we go. One really, really happy jalapeno. And now we move on to the next ones. The next one is the Aleppo pepper. Also a really nice, strong root development. Only 3 came up, but those look good. Although that one looks a little funky. We'll see if that one turns out, but those ones are really, really good. So these were my hot peppers. You can see here the red amber ones seem to be the largest one. We have here those pretty jalapenos. And then I have here in the middle the Aleppo peppers. We're not a spicy household, so there's as much like spicy or hot varieties we grow. The rest is all sweet peppers. Just look at this pretty foliage of this sweet pepper. That one is still a little smaller, that germinated the last, but nevertheless really, really pretty. Stems could be a little bit more sturdy, but now that they're getting into pots, they're also getting a fan on them. That's the only thing what you can't do really well with soil blocks, to have a fan over the seedlings in the beginning, because they're just drying out too fast. You won't be happy with that. But they will get into the gym starting soon. So the first flat is done. Hot peppers plus shishito peppers. There we go. So I'll bring those ones downstairs, come back with another flat. What I will also do is when I'm inside again, because it's still a little bit chilly here outside, but it's such a beautiful day, I thought it is so much nicer to do that outside. But they go back downstairs into the basement under the lights. The peppers is the only thing which I always keep on the heat mat, because they just love the warmth. So they get inside, and then I'll fill up the tray on the bottom with water to let it soak up. And yeah, hydrate the soil, and they're off for the races. Great. Those are by far my prettiest sweet peppers. Those are the red picnic bell peppers, like teeny tiny, like lunchbox peppers. They are robust as a seedling, so I'm really excited for those to see how they come along. Great, so all of the peppers have been potted up. They look very happy. I am putting them back down into the worms. They're not getting mad at me for doing that. Typically what I do is I let them rest after the transplanting a little bit, of course watering them well in downstairs, and then usually once a week I add a diluted fertilizer to just give them some feed, because peppers are heavy feeders and they enjoy a lot of nutrition for them. But they all look great. I'm very excited. That was the first time I started them in soil blocks, and I'm very pleased with the results. Like, the root system looks stellar, so I'm really excited. So for that, I'm trying to get in a guide going that we are able to see them through the season, how they progress, how they turn out, how much we're harvesting from them. So yeah, subscribe to the channel to see what we have next in stock here and how it's going.